This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, yeah. We are telling how to create for a single class, right? So if you guys know, you know how to create a TestNG class. Just you go here, right click TestNG, convert a TestNG, then give name, then click on finish. It will create a TestNG XML file. So it took all the classes available in that. Now you wanted to execute it only in that particular class. You don't want to execute. So just what you have to do, right? Just to delete. So you wanted to execute only that particular class, you can keep only one class. So it will execute only that class only. It won't execute other available class in that particular project. So same thing I did with here exactly here. Yeah, here. This is a method only. Only I wanted to execute this class test cases. So in that case, you create a only in the class file name, you give only that particular class name. That's it. You got right?
Only given that class name. Or?
Yes, one that class.
Okay.
Just a minute. If you still you are confused out, I will show you exactly. Again, I will create one more TestNG file. Yeah, create a TestNG, convert TestNG. So just I will give 4. And 4 is there, no, right? Yeah, I will. Okay, so finish. Now let's see what I will do. I will execute this depends on a group test cases only. 4, where is my depends on a group? It is there. Yeah, this only I wanted to execute. So now I will remove all here. See here, will remove all.
Okay.
Now if you run here this one, that only that depends on only it will execute. Oh, shit. It will execute the test cases which belongs to only depends on group class. Yeah, like this you can do.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. You got it? Still you have any doubt here? If you see this name is same, right? Okay, I will explain exactly how that it will come there. I still have doubt. If you say login open browser view account, here only this test cases is executed, other test cases didn't executed only. Can you see? Yeah, like this you can execute. So I will explain if you still heard out. So how it will be, right? This is a class name. This is a package name. com.testing is a package name. If you see here, this is a package name, then this is a class name. So that XML how we will take, right? That, like that only it is like it is a class name for which package, com package, then class name. It will come like this. So you wanted to execute the test case belong to particular class, you have to give like this. Just to once you create a TestNG XML file, right? It will automatically generate. Just you whichever you don't want, you can delete that class file, that class, this remove. That's it. No, nothing. Once you create TestNG XML file, if you written full entire project which you wanted to execute, you can delete. Otherwise, you can run you want if you want everything to run. Any doubt here? Can we proceed next in that case?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now I was telling, if you see here, depends on group. I was learning something. Sorry. Grouping. So I was earlier we know how to create a group depends on a group. So now I created a 2 groups. One is a car groups, one is a vehicle groups. So now I wanted to execute the test cases which belong to the only car groups. So how I can do this also, we can do easily with the TestNG XML file. So just if you see here, I created, there is a what you call, you have to this is a syntax, you have to tell in test level. This is a, if you see this is a suit, this is a test level. In test level you have to mention groups like this, exactly groups. So which groups you wanted to execute. So if you wanted to execute that particular group name, so just include name, run, you have to give syntax like this, include name of the group. Then this is open close, exactly. Let's say now I given a vehicle, it will execute the test case which belong to only vehicle. If I run, let's say, if you see here, I will show you exactly. this verify user able to launch browser, this belong to this one. Then testing, these two test cases should only execute. These test cases belong to the group called car. Can you guys see?
How to create the XML file for this group?
Which one? Yeah, I'm telling that one only. Just once you create normal TestNG XML file, right? What you have to do right here, in test level, you have to add this what you call statement like groups. I'm writing still this one, explaining this one. Groups like this. This is a syntax. Groups run. Which groups you wanted to execute? You have to write like this. Groups open and close. This one on test level. You know, if you remember what you call, you understood, right? This TestNG XML file now. If you what you call from there, just I'm adding groups. Exactly. There is a parameter called groups. We have to add in that XML file. This group like this you have to add, then include name. This is a parameter, then name of the group which you wanted to execute. So just if you name of the group, now I've added only as of just we'll remove this one. I added this group name only exactly. So vehicle group, I wanted to execute only vehicle group. So it will execute if you see here test cases which is having group only. This is a test case belong to group car. What to call launch browser. Then one more testing. These two test cases should only execute. Let's see. I will run and see whether it will execute only those two test cases or not. Is able to launch Flipkart. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Can you see? I given group name as a vehicle. So if you see, the test case which belong to group is vehicle is only one. So that's the reason it's executed this one. You guys able to understood, right? The vehicle is this test case belong to car, so it didn't execute it. So it executed only test case which belong to the group name vehicle. If you see here in XML file, we given a group name as a vehicle instead of a car. I didn't saw that XML file. Can you see here? We given name group name. So you wanted to see car, just instead of vehicle, I'll give car. Just car. Let's see, that is same name. And this is a case sensitive. You should provide a proper group name. If you have an issue, just you copy paste group name. Now it will execute the test cases which belong to the car. So it won't execute the test cases which belong to the vehicle. If you run, it will execute now. Can you see it will execute a testing and a testing verify user able to launch. These are the test cases which belong to the groups. Car. See, can you see here? This is testing and verify user able to launch. These test cases belong to the car. Now this is two way we can do here. So the test case which I don't want to execute only particular group, so you can directly mention here. Sorry. So you directly mention here that particular group name, whichever you don't want to execute, you don't mention anything. That particular group belong to test case, won't execute. Now assume that there are so many things are there. So you wanted to be what to call include. Sorry. So there is a one more parameter called exclude. So exclude, what it will do, right? There are so many groups that include exclude. So just here you wanted to change here, you don't want to go there and you don't want to see every time. You already grouped the test cases exactly here. So you for each test cases grouping has been done. So you know which test case belong to the group. So sometimes you wanted to execute that particular group, sometimes you don't want to execute that particular group. So now there is one more parameter called exclude. So exclude, if you mention that group name, that the test cases belong to the group name X, what to call, it won't execute that test cases actually belong to that particular group. If you mention a parameter as a include exclude, so it won't execute that. Now I will mention what to call parameter here. It is a vehicle, right? Sorry. So if is there, I will mention a vehicle, so it won't execute here. Sorry, yeah. So it will execute the test cases only belong to the car. It won't execute, or if I want, I will reverse here exactly. If you see here, this is I will, sorry, include vehicle control X. Sorry. So what I'm doing, right? If you see here, now we executed only test case belong to the car. Now I don't want to execute the test case belong to the car. I want to exclude, but I want to include only vehicle. So I vehicle I will make here car. Now if I run this TestNG XML file, it will execute the test case belong to the group vehicle, not a car. Let's say I will run here. Can you see here report? Yeah, it executed only launchable to Flipkart. If you go here, learn grouping. So this is the test case belong to the vehicle. Like this, you can segregate here how many groups you wanted to, you can do here run, you keep as a run. So how many, then how many methods you wanted to, you keep adding. So assume that each class you have different methods. So you'll here just you have to mention your group name here, class name. So next class you have somewhere you mention that particular class, you group name, whichever group name it is there. So it will search automatically. Exactly, this is a so test level, it will search automatically with what to call. If you after first what will go right, assume that it will first class it will be executed. Before this executing, it will check whether what are the groups I need to be executed in that particular class. So here you can mention multiple what to call groupings. Here you can mention multiple class. If it is there multiple classes, multiple groupings you have done, you can mention it. You can run as a enter test in the XML file, whichever include exclude, you can do like this. Any doubt here?
No, it's fine for me.
You guys are able to follow up, right?
Yeah, it's fine for me.
Yep. So now we learn almost all annotations, almost here whatever it is there. Now there is a one more called to call parameter. Exactly, this is one more annotation called at parameters. So basically what it will do at parameters, so when you wanted to assume that there is a scenario, username you wanted to log in with, first time you wanted to log in with one user credential, second time you wanted to log in with another credential. So every time you wanted to log in with different credential. So in that case, how you can do? So instead of what to call, yeah, here assume that this is a send keys, it is a username or username. So every time you wanted to test that particular functionality, different username. So in that way, instead of hard coding here username, how I can do with respect to, so if you write I have to hard code here as a string. Exactly, instead of doing that, how I can do, the Selenium provide what to call parameter called at parameters. So this is a syntax at parameters. How just you have to mention at parameter, like this you have to mention. If you see at parameter, it will come. So you have to mention at parameters, and this is a syntax, whichever the parameter name you have to mention here. So I will show you where I created this parameter name. Parameter like this you have to mention. Then here we what you call, which input you wanted to pass, you pass the parameter here, two parameters here, you create one more variable here, then reference variable you pass here. Exactly. So how we can create the parameters? Let's say I created somewhere here parameter. Here, oh, sorry, yeah, TestNG. Okay, I will delete this one. If you see, So again, it is for one class only. So again, what you have to do, right? Again, in order to mention whether a parameter, you have to mention like you make use of at parameter tag, parameter name you have to give, then that value. So this is a parameter name. We are passing here parameter name. So it will fetch that this value. This value means it will fetch a testing value. Now I will execute same thing, whether it is passing or not. Test parameter. Can you say it passed here parameter as a TestNG here exactly? So assume that here instead of TestNG in your login credential, how will real time that there is a username. So first time you have two username. Assume that first time you wanted to test all the test execution for that only particular one username. Next time you wanted to execute with the other username. In that case, this parameterization will help exactly. So first time, next time you wanted to execute this test case with other username available in that, just what you have to do, right? Just to copy entire thing here, just paste. Then here, what you can do, you change this parameter, what to call value to different. Like this, you can execute. Just, yeah. So assume that if even though I give here two parameter here, so Selenium won't execute. Now I'm giving a testing 2. So it will take the latest means it is single instance only. It will take this TestNG2 parameter name. It won't take this one. If you want, I can show here also, run also and show. See, TestNG2 it took, but it didn't run a TestNG1. So it is always take a single instance. So first only one time you want, if you're setting a multiple value, it will take only single instance. That is the one thing. Then where we can use in this is the thing, real time. So I will, when we're writing a framework there, assume that you have some 20 test cases. First time you executed in Chrome. Now next time you wanted to execute it in Firefox, or next time you wanted to execute in IE. In that case, how you can do that? You can pass a parameter here. So here you will write a logic here, like if your parameter is, where is that? Here we will write a logic. If it is a parameter is launch this Chrome driver. If your parameter is what to call uh, Firefox, launch of Firefox browser. Like this, will put if condition, so many if else conditions. So based on that parameter, it will launch that particular browser. That time also it will help exactly how in real time where it is parameter. So this is two instances we can connect as of now. So you can make use of parameter whenever you want. So as of now, most of the people you use in real these two scenario, it will help exactly parameterization. Any doubt till now?
In parameterization for XML file, we are create that iterate parameter.
Yeah.
It's a manual.
Sorry.
It's manually.
Yes. Test level you have to write at parameter name like this only. This is syntax at parameter. You have to write as like parameter name, and you have to give a value. This is syntax how you can pass that parameter name to. So the yeah, just this is a syntax exactly. I am telling at parameter you have to write like this. So I will delete this one. How you have to make a parameterization at parameter name you have to write this. Can you see defines to here parameter name you have to define, and that particular value you have to define.
Okay.
Any doubt till now? Can we proceed one more topics? We have what you call data provider. It will take around 20 minutes actually. If possible, we can proceed. Otherwise, if you wanted to stop, we can stop. It's already 8:05. So if you want to, sorry.
We can continue later. Today, I guess we should stop maybe.
Yeah, sure, sir. I think
Yeah.
it's overhead, or you guys are able to follow up, right? If you're not able to understand, please let me know exactly one that is silly
Yeah, I
mistake also.
understand, but I have.
But I think we need to practice once one.
Yeah, that's the reason initially I told everyone to you guys to install first, then keep whatever I teaching, right? Next day you can practice if you have any doubt. At least single thing, you even if you're not able to write, right, just Google copy pasting. No need to do, just you once you start executing, you will get confidence until and unless. Just you once you write now, just copy paste and run, you can see there only. No need to
Yeah.
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 That will make you guys confidence. Exactly, now you will able to understand, but once you start writing, that is a real, you will face difficult sometimes there.
Okay.
Initially no need to do, right, just copy paste and run, copy paste and run, you can get confidence exactly whether it is executing. If you're getting any exceptions issues, you can debug, right? You will use to it exactly what is, you can those kind of scenario easily. You get confidence once you start debugging small issues, exactly fixing, you will get confidence. Otherwise you are able to understand, but if you're not able to practice, after some 3-4 days, you guys will what you call forget everything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll start what you call data provider and test assertion. If you see, I use some what you call how test case getting passed and failed. That is this slide, right? I've written, right, this assertion. Tomorrow we'll see
Yeah.
this assertion and data provider. Once these two topics done, right, then we'll start a framework, because we covered almost all Selenium concept.
Which framework we are doing?
Hybrid framework as of now, hybrid with
Okay.
help of TestNG only. You know now TestNG concept, everything we'll use,
Yeah.
make use of a hybrid framework. Page object
Okay,
model, page object model with the TestNG. That combination we call hybrid.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Ratnakar.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.